I read comic books casually like most kids did in the 70s. I was a big fan of Spider-Man, a big fan of the Fantastic Four.
I just never had met anyone who was anything like the black characters who existed in comics. Blacks in comics for many years were drawn as subhuman. The Spirit, which is a relatively realistically drawn comic. Ebony White could have been a gremlin. I'm not sure a modern reader would understand that he was human. You just got into the habit of looking past that so you could have entertainment.
When I was a kid, I stumbled across a comic book called Jungle Action, a comic that featured the Black Panther. I had an epiphany. I was just fascinated with that comic. Looking back, it was this powerful sense of validation I saw, seeing myself reflected in the media as a hero. I think that really lit the fire that later became Milestone Comics. Milestone was a bunch of guys who liked comics, who had had a certain level of success in the mainstream, but we wanted to make our own thing and control it and have total say over it. My own inclination was to create comics that were more contemporary. That meant all kinds of people, not just black people. I didn't want to become the black version of my criticism of mainstream comics. One of the major things I was trying to accomplish was reproduce that feeling of belonging in a younger generation of readers.
When I go to San Diego and I see white kids dressed as Static or white kids dressed as clearly John Stewart, Green Lantern, I'm like, we're really getting somewhere, because this is a guy who is going to be less inclined to make assumptions about who somebody is based on the color of their skin. You know, so that's a win. I like to write all kinds of different stuff. I've been really fortunate to work with the best guys. I'm very proud to have been part of it.
Hello, I'm Phil LaMarr, and I am very honored to be the host of the 8th Annual Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics, being presented to creators whose outstanding work promotes diversity and inclusion in the comic book medium, both on the page and behind the scenes. It is very much my privilege to be able to say that I knew and worked with Dwayne McDuffie. I had the opportunity to play Virgil Hawkins, also known as Static, on Dwayne's animated show Static Shock.
The name's Static. I put a shock to your system.
I also got to play John Stewart, the Green Lantern, on Dwayne's Justice League. "Beware my power, Green Lantern's light." And I truly did realize at the time that we were creating something together that was profound as well as fun. Bringing black heroes into mainstream media for millions of kids to look up to. And years later, those millions of kids became millions of adults who remain fans to this day. Some even grew up to create their own comics, like the ones we are honoring here today. Now, having the spotlight of the DMADs, that's our nickname, shine on the work of our finalists over the past 7 years not only brought them the satisfaction of the award, but it also brought them to the attention of the greater entertainment industry. Our previous nominees and winners have gone on to careers in animation and comics, as well as had their submissions adapted into animated series and even landed movie development deals. Dwayne McDuffie Award alums are out there right now making their mark on the entertainment industry, and in doing so, making all of us proud to have them be forever associated with Dwayne McDuffie's name. So, who's going to be next? Well, let's get to it. The finalists for the 8th Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics are Blackward, by writer and artist Lawrence Lindell. Clock Striker, by writer Frederick L. Jones and artist Issaka Galadima. The Man in the McIntosh Suit, by writer and artist Rina Ayuyang. Ripple Effects, written by Jordan Hart, with art by Bruno Chiroleu. Young Men in Love, a queer romance anthology, by various writers and various artists. And the winner of the Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics is Ripple Effects, by Jordan Hart and Bruno Chiroleu. Now, let's hear a few words from the winner.
Thank you so much to the selection committee and to Charlotte McDuffie for this truly incredible honor. Ripple Effects is a story about an invincible young man who's afraid to become a superhero because of his type 1 diabetes. The story is based on my own experience with an incurable blood clotting condition. When I was 25, I was rushed to the hospital with blood clots in my lungs and quickly diagnosed with thrombophilia. The following weeks in the hospital and at home at bed rest proved to be some of the most difficult in my life. I felt like who I had been ripped away unexpectedly, and I had no idea who I was supposed to be going forward. But everything changed when others with invisible disabilities began reaching out and sharing their personal stories. These conversations helped me feel less alone and gave me so much comfort. And that's the feeling I tried to capture with Ripple Effects. I wanted to write a story out there to remind everyone with an invisible illness that they are not alone, to remind them that they are a superhero, and to remind them that their illness is a part of who they are, but it will never be all that they are. So thank you to Bruno for capturing the emotion, humor, and action of this story in every panel he drew. Thank you to Justin for creating some of the most memorable and visually amazing covers I've ever seen. Thank you to Shane and Oceano for elevating every page they touched. And thank you to Matthew, Jasmine, Dr. Rojas, Mike, and Amanda for their essays on their own invisible illnesses in every single issue. Most importantly, thank you to Barbara and Brian Dillon of Fanbase Press for believing in this story from the first moment I pitched it. Your expertise and support took the story to a level I didn't think was possible. Thank you once again to the selection committee and to Charlotte McDuffie for this incredible honor. I'll wear it with pride for the rest of my life.
Congratulations to the winners. And a big heartfelt thank you to Will Watkins, director of the DMADs, and to Dwayne's widow, Charlotte Fullerton McDuffie. thank you both for making this happen. I would also like to give a very special thanks to our finalists and encourage you all to read all 5 books. I mean, hey, if they made it to the DMADs, you know they have to be the best of the best. Now, to all you hopefuls out there, please keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating, and please submit your own comics next year. Looking forward to it. Just remember our motto, which are Dwayne's own words, from invisible to inevitable. Thank you. I'm Phil LaMarr, and I will see you next time at the Dwayne McDuffie Awards for Diversity in Comics.